Welcome to day one of our journey together. Every story begins with a day one, and I'm excited to be here with you on day one. Today is day one. I've had this YouTube channel for 7 years and never really done much with it, but my dream and hope is to educate, motivate, and empower you to ultimately live your best life. Over the next 5 days, I'm going to share 5 stories, 5 life stories. Why? Because within these stories, I want to inspire, I want to spark some inspiration, some motivation to ignite your passion, to fuel your ambition, to propel you toward a life you truly love. It's about embracing every single moment, aging with awesomeness, and breaking free from the constraints that hold us back. We call that unstucking yourself. So join me as we embark on this adventure together. Life is an adventure, and it's better done together. Look, I've sat here for days and days, like really contemplating what is my first action. I want to be able to share short form and long form content and again, inspire you to ultimately take action, kickstart a healthy revolution. And it starts right here. And it starts with storytelling. I've thought, do I go 10 steps to X or 3 reasons for Y? And you know what? Ultimately, I want to build a relationship, starting virtually, eventually in person, and unlock the secrets to a happier, more fulfilling life each and every day. So, if you haven't seen, I'm Dane Boyle of Dane Boyle Coaching. I've been a life coach, a fitness coach, a personal trainer, a high school football coach, a science teacher, cardiac rehab director, college professor. I've pretty much done it all when it comes to being in the realm of health, wellness, mindset. And again, I've pondered and pondered and thought, what do I do? But I thought, you know what? Number one, I have to be genuine to myself so that the person you see on the screen is the person you're going to get on every single video. And how are we going to jumpstart the YouTube channel to make sure you want to be here, that you seek out the content, that ultimately you have comments, you hit hearts. We don't hit hearts here, that's Facebook, but you can do that, I think, too. But maybe share it with somebody that you love that might need a jump starter, might like the lesson that we're doing today. And that's what it's about. So I thought, how do I start? How do I start? Where do I start? So I thought, let's unlock the secrets to happier, healthier, more fulfilling life with just a wag of a tail. About 6 or 7 years ago, I was out walking my dog. My dog's name is Dodger. She's 12 years old now. She has a birthday coming up in April to be 12 years old. You know what? She slowed down a little bit. And ultimately, as we age with awesomeness, which is a phrase you're going to hear a lot, as we live life without boundaries, live life without restrictions, you're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear igniting life and sparking healthy revolution. You're going to hear terms like, you're going to hear trailblazer. You're going to hear travel blazer. But if you have a dog, I want you to watch how they live. Their love is unconditional. You can walk out to the car and come back in your front door, your garage, and they're going to wag their tail and they're going to want to be pet. They're going to want to be pet. They're going to want to have you see them as soon as they walk back in the door. So again, a dog's love is unconditional love, and your dogs are talking to you each and every day. So I did this and shared these 10 things that Dodger taught me as a puppy, really. Again, about the same time I probably discovered or signed in with my Google account to start a YouTube channel, but didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, and didn't take it very seriously. Well, now we're all in. Now we want to reach a global audience. Now our first mark is to ultimately get 1,000 subscribers so that we know we truly are igniting life and sparking a healthy revolution, and the message gets out. So before I tell you 10 lessons that Dodger has taught me and I hope teaches you, please subscribe. Please share it with somebody. Share this message, the 5 stories in 5 days that we're going to go over, because the only way to change the conventional, to stop doing what everybody's been doing, expecting different results in better health, happiness, mindset. Those are the 3 things, all shrouded in the F4 philosophy, which are faith, fitness, fellowship, and freedom. The freedom to be, do, and have anything and everything you've ever wanted. So the day I came home and the day I wrote this, I don't know what it was. I don't know if I didn't have my earbuds in. I didn't know if it was a different, just something called to me to say, you know what? You watch Dodger every day. You walk her every day and let her talk to you. So I think the number one lesson Dodger has taught is to always be glad the day has come. Embrace the day with a positive attitude. In my private coaching community, the very first thing we do every single morning is share a selfie high five. Yep, that's it. That's simple. Why? Because it's an action we can control. It starts our day positively. Nobody frowns when they get a freaking high five. Next time you're at the grocery store, give the kid behind the counter a high five, or the woman checking you out, right? You're doing self checkout. Crap, give yourself your own high five. But appreciate the opportunity you have, because the day you're in is the most important day you'll ever have. The moment you're in is the most important moment you'll ever have. Most important. So always be glad the day has come. Always be ready to go. I don't know about you, but even Dodger, although it's a little harder for her to get up these days, if I grab her leash, she is ready to rock, she is ready to roll, and she is ready to go. Do you wake up each day rocking and rolling, ready to go? Is your clock an alarm clock or an opportunity clock? What is it? It's a matter of choice. The dog will tell you every day to go, whatever the day may bring. Look, if I spill this water while I shoot this video, which will pretty much be unedited, it doesn't mean the video sucks. It doesn't mean the day is terrible. It just means I spilled water. And I can sit here and do the video in a wet shirt, or I can stop and pause and go get another shirt. So always be ready to go. They open to new opportunities and experiences every day. Because whether I walk down that street and there comes a T at the end of our street, there's a stop sign, and we can choose to go left or right. Now, Dodger will almost always pull right a little bit, because that's what we've done for years and years and years and years. But sometimes it's time to go left and embrace a new opportunity and a new view. Greet people with joy. Have you ever seen a dog really that's not happy to get pet, to go see the next person on the street, on the block, in the park? So are you smiling when you see new people? Are you putting your hand out? I believe that we can, and you'll hear this as well. We can change the world with high fives, smiles, and handshakes. That's simple. I believe we make life so much harder than it has to be. I believe it was Mark Twain that said, if you want the world to be a healthier, happier place, basically a better place, a happier place, turn off the freaking news. So turn it off. Stop watching it and live your best life. Raise your family. Cherish the people in your life, and ultimately take care of yourself first so you can love them better and love yourself better. Because then it becomes about quality of life. So greet people with joy every time you see them. Splash in as many puddles as you can, as possible. That girl, my girl, she will walk in every puddle there is, splash in it, lick the water. I don't expect you to lick the water, the groundwater, right? But jump in the puddle like a little kid. You've been told, I was told, quit getting in puddles, don't get wet. You know what? You're an adult. Jump in the puddle, change your shoes, get dry socks, embrace fun, embrace spontaneity, and enjoy life's simple pleasures. Another two things you're going to hear over and over and over and over: to live life in awe and take joy in the ordinary. The simple things. This morning, actually, when I went out and I rucked, if you're not sure what rucking is, I'll be telling and teaching about that and why I think it's beneficial. It's basically carrying a backpack with weight. And right now, as I shoot this video, the blue bonnets, and I'm in Texas, are blooming, and I stopped and took a couple pictures. There was a blue bonnet by itself. There was a pasture of blue bonnets. But I looked at the beauty. I looked at nature's beauty, and I was like, look, I just took time for the moment. I enjoyed the spontaneity to use my camera. The new iPhone, man, the cameras are legit, right? The simple pleasure. And I know that one of my clients, which we are called trailblazers, and I'll share more about that, because we're going to blaze a trail that's never been there before. We're going to invite people to join us. And ultimately, we're going to change what it means to age with awesomeness and live life without boundaries. So it's life's simple pleasures, I believe. And I hope you do too. And over time, if you don't now, you will, because you hear it. We live in a state of positivity. That's that morning high five. We take life's simple pleasures and enjoy them, whether it's ice cold water. Z talking about spilling, somehow I missed my mouth. But even I took a nicer little glass, one that we might make an evening cocktail with. My wife put some water in the fridge for me, in a bottle that often comes like when you go to the restaurant, right? And she's like, why do we have to wait to go to a restaurant? We don't. It's that simple. The reason we spent the money after coming back from Europe last year, after going to a few all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and the Dominican that had an espresso machines, I said, baby, I love that coffee. And then we went to Italy and we drank amazing coffee. And we're like, we're going to spend the money. We basically now have 1 cup of coffee a day. When my wife goes to work, it has to be at the hospital at 5 a.m. We get up, or I get up with her at 4 so we can share our coffee together. It's the simple pleasures that bring the most happiness. So splash in as many puddles as possible. Never complain about the freaking weather. You cannot change it. So why do we bitch about it all the time? Look, I don't want there to be flooding or tornadoes, hurricanes. I tried to put tornadoes and hurricanes together there. I don't want a tsunami. I don't want anything crazy like that. I don't want so much snow you can't get out of your driveway. If you complain about it, what does it do? If you want to get outside, and we're going to talk about how I believe the best gym in the world is out your front door, and how to get up, get out, and get moving every single day. And hey, if you're blessed to have a raincoat, put it on. You're blessed to have a hat to keep you warm, put it on. You're blessed to have gloves, put it on. You're blessed to have a sleeveless shirt, put it on. You're blessed to have a long sleeve fishing shirt, put it on and go outside. But it wouldn't matter if it was rainy or cold or hot. It wouldn't matter. The dog is going to be ready to go. So accept the circumstances that you cannot control gracefully. At the end of the day, you're really going to learn, and we all learn, that life is completely out of your control. But we're going to try to control the controllable, like deciding that you want to listen in, you want to be part of a healthy revolution, you want to ignite life and spark a healthy revolution, that you want to age with awesomeness, you want to live without boundaries, you want to do that. That ultimately take control. Focus on what is in front of you, and know that bitching just is for bitching's sake doesn't make it better. The dog doesn't. He never complains. The dog doesn't complain. They eat and they're happy all the time. We'll stop complaining about the weather. You don't have to go fast to enjoy the moment. That goes back to taking a picture of that blue bonnet, or the series of pictures I took today with the blue bonnets. Slow down and appreciate the present moment fully. When I came back, or my wife and I and the Travel Blazers came back from Europe last year, I did a Facebook Live video, and I was like, slow the F down. Slow the F down. And especially if you're in that age where you're probably 45 and over and the kid's a little older, and maybe you're about to be an empty nester, maybe you're trying to decide whether the career you're in is the last career you have, or maybe you're looking at this point, no matter what your age, and you want to start a new business, or maybe you're recovering from a divorce, or maybe you're overcoming a terrible health diagnosis. Who knows? That's your second act. But we tend to live life in this country, go, 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 speed, 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 till every waking moment. We literally, when our kids are young, we fill every moment with Little League and softball and ballet and church, and you name it, there's always somewhere to go. But what I learned in Europe is that every moment, I'm sure Dodger would agree, is the ability in a moment to slow down and cherish it. So again, we talk about the coffee that we have. We came home, and our dining room table for years has been a collect all for crap, whether it's Amazon boxes, mail, backpacks, purses, for me, tripods, cameras, you name it, coaching paraphernalia, whatever that looks like. We came back, we cleared off the table, and we chose to have our meals at the table. Our house has a big open space from the living room, dining room, and kitchen. It's one giant open space. It's easy to watch football, easy to watch sports, whether you're in the kitchen or at the dining room table. You know what I realized too? It doesn't matter if I watch, the team is going to win or lose. When it's time to eat, we turn off the TV. We put our phones away. We've done that for years. And I love that Rick Pitino, college and former NBA basketball coach, said that the way they do it is the first one to take out their phone at a meal when they're out pays for the meal. That's been our mantra for a decade, if not more. Or at least when the iPhone 3 came out. But we sit at the table, we have a conversation. We often share roses and thorns or wins for the day. So what went well for the what's your yay for the day? That's another thing we do in our coaching community. So we start with a selfie high five. We end with a yay for the day, which is an attitude of gratitude. So no matter how hard your day was, there's always something positive. Maybe as simple as having ice cold water. Maybe somebody opened the door at the coffee shop. Maybe your boss praised you. Maybe your grandson or your kid came up to you and gave you a hug and told you that they love you. It doesn't have to be a grand thing, although those are pretty grand things. But cherish the moment, right? Stop and smell the flowers. It's okay. Slow down a little bit. Because the future doesn't happen fast enough and the past happens too fast. And I hear that a lot, especially with people I know that are really aging. Aging meaning that they know that definitely their days are numbered. We're going to come back and we're going to share about counting your days as well. Sometimes rolling in the grass just feels good. Allow yourself to indulge in simple pleasures, whether, again, it's the best cocktail you can make at home, whether it's the best coffee you can make, whether it's the best conversation, right? Simple, whether it's writing in your journal, whether it's watching sunrises and sunsets, whether it's holding someone's hand in silence. What does that look like? Simple pleasures. Maybe it's petting puppy dogs. Maybe it's singing a song and it's out of tune, but it makes your heart feel good. You don't have to be good at it if it makes you feel good. Just do it. We're not in middle school. Who cares what anybody else thinks? If it brings you joy and does no harm, do it. Even if it's trivial, even if it's little. This is what I told our trailblazers in Oklahoma City at one of our retreats. If it sets your soul on fire, do it. So sometimes rolling in the grass feels good. The moment you're in is the most important moment you have. So stay mindful, be present, focus on making the best of each and every moment you've got. You're never going to get it back. The moment you're watching this video, the moment you're listening to it in the car, you never get it back. So make it the best moment you can and stop worrying about the future. Yes, we're going to talk about creating a vivid vision. We're going to talk about how maybe goal setting isn't your jam, but creating a vision is. But you're going to think in years, plan in months, and live in days. Another key, another foreshadowing to future videos and content. Those were the first 10 messages, pieces that I took back to the house and wrote furiously one day. But Dodger is now 6, maybe 7. Well, she'll be 7 years older as I'm shooting this video in just a few days. And over time, she's given 5 more lessons. And I want to share those today as we go into 5 days, 5 stories. Hey, if you haven't clicked subscribe, please do it. It is the only way that I know you're out there. It's the only way that we can truly age with awesomeness and live life without boundaries. It's the only way that I know that you're there. And again, if you've got a friend or family member that would love to hear the message, please share it with them. I want to provide so much value to you that you're going to want to be here. You have no idea. And over time, maybe you'll get to learn, and maybe we'll have the opportunity to coach together, or you'll have an opportunity to become a trailblazer. And there'll be more ways to do and connect, I promise. But I just had to start, right? You just have to start. You have your heart and mind into it. And even if it's just my kids, and even if it's just my mom, and even if it's just my wife watching, thank you. I love all of you. But I hope it's more. And what I'm looking for is to create relationships that are a foot wide, a mile deep. Remember, our first goal, our first mission is to reach 1,000 subscribers. It's just a number, right? And 100 and some that are on here, almost 200 right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never take that for granted. Every single day, I wake up like a kid on Christmas morning with a purpose and passion to serve first. All right, 5 new lessons that Dodger taught. Embrace routine, but be flexible. Right now, several of the trailblazers want to get out of bed earlier. They want to take advantage of that quiet time where people aren't emailing them and texting them, or their boss isn't calling them, or they have clients to serve. So create the routine. We can't wait, right, when the kids are young for summer break. And after about 2 weeks, we're like, man, I wish it was school, because they would go to bed on time. They'd get up, they'd have certain things, and then there's no routine. It's almost like going on vacation, where you feel like you need a vacation from a vacation. because we really do nurture and need that routine, but be flexible. Life is truly a 4-letter word. We're going to lean into that too. We're going to make it our own 4-letter word. The acronym we use for life is love, integrity, fulfillment, and enthusiasm. Think about that when it comes to life. Make that. So what I'm saying is, as I have ideas on what to do in the YouTube channel, it's linear, right? It's going to be a straight shot. Not going to be a straight shot. Something's going to happen. There's going to be some curveballs. I'm going to swing and miss. I hope, though, that I hit more than I swing and miss. So be flexible. Remain adaptable to changes and new experiences that arrive. You can't control everything. One of my one-on-one coaching sessions just the other day, I said, you cannot control how anybody else reacts. The only reaction you control is yours. So embrace routine and be flexible. Forgive easily and move on. So I'm sure that if I go to the car and I don't take the dog, or I go out on a walk, or I go out on a ruck, Dodger would really like me to go. But she forgives me and she's ready to move on. So holding on to grudges only weighs you down. Practice forgiveness and let go of negativity to focus on the moment. If you hold a grudge, or you don't forgive, or you don't forget, the only one ultimately that is hurting is you. So learn, practice. We'll come back and talk about ways to do that. Forgive easily and move on. I alluded to this earlier. I said, take joy in the ordinary and live life in awe. So find joy in the little things. What brings you joy? What makes you smile? One of the very first things we do together in our coaching community is to discover 10 things that bring each of us joy individually. And then you're challenged to see, how often are you doing them? Why aren't you doing them? Put that list of at least 10 things. For some people, it is extremely hard to find and figure out 10 things. But we work on it together until they have a list of at least 10 things. And then do them as often as possible. Appreciate the small moments that bring you happiness. Things that bring you happiness. So my dad was really, really sick, and he'd been in the hospital for a long time. And he was no longer really cognitive. My mom grabbed his hand with tears rolling down her face. She goes, I just want to go to the movies, because that's something they did together. They got a large soda, a large popcorn with a crap ton of butter on it, and they sat and watched the movie. It's that simple. A simple task of two people who loved each other, potentially holding hands with sticky, buttery fingers, being upset maybe because somebody finished the last sip of that soda. But it was that little moment, the moment that disappeared. It wasn't going on a big trip. It wasn't driving a fancy car. It wasn't the big house. It wasn't any of that. It was the simple act of holding hands and watching a movie. So find joy in the little things. Be loyal and dependable. Build strong, healthy relationships based on trust, reliability, and always be there for those that matter to you. If you say you're going to be there, be there. If you can't be there, or it doesn't serve your soul, don't do it. Don't tell somebody maybe. Don't somebody say, I'll try. To try as a lie. It's a cop-out when somebody invites you, I'll try to be there. You're not going to go. If you wanted to go, you would have said yes. So be loyal, be dependable, be accountable, be trustworthy. And ultimately, like I said earlier, my mission, my goal, my purpose is to create relationships that are a foot wide and a mile deep. So be loyal and be dependable. And maybe the last thing that Dodgers taught me since the original 10 is express love freely. You're going to hear me often finish one of the videos and say, be sure to tell those you love them, and never, pardon me, assume they know. So show affection, give a kiss, hold a hand, say I love you. I lost my dad several years ago, but one of the things I do know is, even as an adult, I would walk in the door and Dad would give me a kiss on the cheek. And he would tell me he loved me when we left. He would tell me he was proud of me every time. He was never afraid to express his love and show affection. And he didn't ever know when the last time he'd be able to tell me that was. He didn't say, oh, son, this will be the last time I see you. Oh, son, this will be the last time I can tell you I'm proud of you. No. He wanted to never waste a heartbeat. he wanted to make sure he told me, his son, his only son, that he loved me unconditionally, was proud of me. So he was out there spreading love and positivity every single day. And that's what I want to continue to do here with you. Look, these lessons, now 15 lessons on day one of 5 stories in 5 days, are a lesson to emphasize the importance of living in the moment, taking joy in the simple pleasures, maintaining a positive attitude, and embracing life with enthusiasm and curiosity. So that's what we're going to do here on this channel. We're going to age with awesomeness and live life without boundaries. And every day we're going to work on unstucking ourselves, whether it's health, whether it's finances, whether it's fitness, freedom, you name it, right? There's so many F's you're going to hear. We're going to build a foundation. We're going to change the world. We're going to ignite life and spark the health and revolution. So I hope each of these is a reminder, and you can set them as principles in life to ultimately live the lessons that our dogs are teaching us. All right, thank you for being here. Again, please subscribe, please share, please comment. Let's build a long-term healthy relationship, one day, one moment, one interaction at a time. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. More coming soon. More links will be coming soon for you to get more information. But this is day one, 5 stories, 5 days, in order to encourage you to age with awesomeness and live life without boundaries. Like I said earlier, I want to remind you today, I'm going to actually remind you with 2 things at the end. Tell those you love them, and never assume they know. And your immediate challenge today is to text somebody and let them know you're thinking of them and expect absolutely nothing in return. Go be amazing.